Hello, everybody. Joe here, and happy Thursday. So, I am live. I'm going to wait and see if anybody hops into this live. So, we can all just chill out for a second and see who pops on. Hi, Jen. How you doing, friend? So, it looks like it might just be us, but we shall see. I'm going to do this live and record anyway and save it, just to do it instead of filming a video and explaining this. So if people are new here and they don't know, I have hypermobile Ehlers Danlos Syndrome. It's a genetic condition. I was born with it. I also have a long list of other chronic illnesses and chronic pain and all the things. On this channel, I talk about minimalism and my chronic health and what it is like living with both. I've had my YouTube channel since 2017. I've lived minimally since 2016, and I've had chronic illness and chronic pain my entire life. So I'm currently working on filming a video showing how my room update and what I've done, how I've changed things, and how I've reorganized things. And I mean, it was already organized before, but, always room for improvement because there's no such thing as perfection. So, about in 2021, I had a labrum tear in my hip, and they basically, the pain was so bad, they basically agreed to do surgery, and they went in and they fixed it, and they like fixed the bone because, and they found out that my hip bone, it sits weird, and that's why it caused it to tear. Well, in 2023, I found out that I tore my labrum again. And so the past 2 years, the pain has been bad. But 2 years ago, I wasn't confident in the doctors where I lived to have them do anything about it. So I waited. And then shortly after that, ended up moving. And I moved to a spot. And I'm like, well, since the labrum is torn, that probably means this is going to keep happening. So I'm just going to try and live with it and have this be my new normal. So about a year ago, I had an MRI to see. And at that time, they didn't pick up that my labrum was torn. They noticed something else being torn. And the MRI tech didn't notice that my labrum was torn again. That hip muscle was torn again. So I'm like, well, but during a year ago, they're like, oh, but you might have cancer based off of just some health stuff I had going on because of the MRI imaging that they saw. So it wasn't until about the summer of this year that, after getting a second opinion, a cancer was officially ruled out. And they're like, nope, you're good. You don't have it. Which, if anybody's gone through cancer or doesn't know the possibility of cancer, you know what a huge relief that is. So finally, this fall, August fall, I got a referral to another ortho, for where I currently live. And they're like, yeah, no, your labrum is torn. And because of your Ehlers Danlos and the way your body sits, that they decided to try a steroid injection, and they did that a week ago. It does give me a little bit of relief. Um, I've also been on pain med for the past few months, trying to get relief that way. And so both of them so far have given me a little bit of relief, but not a huge amount, in my opinion. But we'll see. So the hip update that I'm doing this live for is basically saying that the ortho here said that if the injection doesn't give me relief for more than 3 weeks, that's not worth doing again. I am scheduled to do 2 sessions of physical therapy in December, to see if that helps with my body and helps with things. But basically, my current ortho doesn't want to do surgery because he's like, because of your Ehlers Danlos and the way your body is, and it's how it's not straight, on the inside or out. That they're like, there's no point in doing surgery because this is just gonna keep happening. So that's my hip update. And I wanted to come on here and give you guys that update and also talk about the emotions that come with it, because having, chronic illness and chronic pain, it's, as your body changes, it's a grieving process, because basically, instead of, oh, thank you, Jen. Yeah, no, instead of fixing it like they did in 2021, going into surgery and fixing it, and making the pain better that way, they basically said, no, this is just your new normal, and we're not going to go in and keep fixing it. And I had asked about doing a hip replacement, but they're like, normally people are much older when they get a hip replacement, which honestly does not make sense to me, because I'm like, normally, the older you are, the riskier surgeries are. So putting off something like a hip replacement until you're much older just doesn't make sense to me. But, doctors know what they're talking about, so I'm going with it. And also, I think also it is the issue of, just because of the way my bones and stuff shift out of place, that even if I did a hip replacement and I had something else there, it's still the matter of whatever they put in would still shift around, from my understanding, and still cause tearing. So it wouldn't really fix it. But that's just, like I said, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just someone who's lived with chronic illness, and that's my understanding of it. But basically, for people who don't know bodies or know anatomy or don't live with chronic illness, normally the hip bone is curves and curves down, and there's like this indent thing, which my right hip does. And that's why my right hip hasn't had the tearing issue that my left hip does. My left hip, the hip bone, it's a ball. That curving and going down thing isn't a thing. My left hip bone is a ball, and it sits high my left hip sits high. So that's what causes it to rub on a muscle and tear. So that's why it keeps happening in my left hip. You're bumping my phone. So, I've got dogs on my lap right now, because where I live, they have dogs. But, yeah, so that's my hip update, and I do this because I talk about chronic illness and chronic pain and minimalism on my channel. You know, when I'm going through health things, I like to give occasional updates to educate people, and because also it's just what I talk about. I don't do this for medical advice. I don't do this for pity. It's just purely matter of fact. But after my ortho appointment, when we agreed to do the injection and stuff, and he said, that this is basically just your new normal, and they're not going to do surgery to fix it. My mental health took a major dive. And like I said, when you have chronic illness and chronic pain and stuff, you, just like as you get older and your body changes and there are things you can't do anymore, when you have chronic illness and chronic pain and something changes to where they're like, oh, this is your new normal, or you can't do this anymore, or whatever it is, it's a grieving process. It's coming to terms with and accepting the fact that this is the way it is. That, if it was like a cold can be fixed, the flu can be cured, these things. But when it's your body, when it's your genetics, when it's the bones inside your body, and we're not Star Trek and medically advanced to where this could be fixed, which, oh my gosh, I wish for the day. Any of my Trekkies out there, that to have the medical technology they have in Star Trek, to where a lot of the things we deal with in our current time zone just aren't a thing in the medical Star Trek universe, is freaking amazing. Yes, Captain Janeway to the Verge. Oh my god. Yes, Voyager is really good. Personally, I'm a TNG, Captain Picard fan with Next Generation. But I honestly love all Star Trek, so yes. But I would love to have that kind of medical technology. Also the transportation, honestly. To be able to teleport somewhere and just energize and stuff would be amazing. Anyways, so that's my update. If anybody is on here watching and you have minimalism questions, questions about what I do on my channel, anything, I'm here to answer those. I've got maybe another 10 minutes before I need to go. So it's a really short live today. Just know that my YouTube channel, if you are new, is strictly a hobby. It's something I've done as just a creative outlet. And because of living with chronic illness, I don't usually edit or do voiceovers or add music or anything. So what you see is what you get. So yes. But yes, I am a Trekkie. I'm a huge nerd, all the things. And yes. The weather's actually it actually looks nice outside right now. Oh my gosh. I think it's time for my second cup of coffee, people. Let me know in the comments if anybody else is a coffee drinker. Do you do coffee? Do you do tea? Do you don't do either? Let me know. I'm definitely a coffee drinker for sure. Thanks for the thumbs up to the people who gave a thumbs up to this live. That is very helpful to my channel. Like I said, this is a hobby, but I would still love it to grow. Oh, Jenny, a tea drinker. That's nice. I have family and friends that are big tea drinkers. My grandma was a big tea drinker. She loved tea. And I've never been much of a tea drinker. It's not really my thing. But as I've gotten older, it's something that I actually do enjoy on occasion. I'm actually starting to appreciate it more. But I think I will always still prefer coffee over tea. I've always loved chai tea, though. But I've also always had a major sweet tooth. So. Oh, and I don't know if I got eggnog the other day. I'm so excited for it. Mm. Oh, does that? Okay. That's interesting. Thanks for letting me know. Conscious Cookie Monster says chai means tea in Hindi. So when you said chai tea, you're saying tea. Okay, I did not know that. Thank you for educating me. That is interesting to know. Oh, yeah. But when I do tea, I tend towards like the black teas and some herbal teas. I'm not really a fan of green tea. But you guys are going to want to look out. I'm not sure when I'm going to be posting it because I still need to finish filming. But I'm going to be doing my first ever edited video on my channel. Do not expect it to be a regular thing because I do not have the stamina for that. But, oh, yeah, no, Earl Grey is a classic. Very nice, Jen. Yeah. So, but I'm going to be doing my first ever edited video on my channel. At least I should be. Somebody I live with knows how to edit, and has offered to show me how to do it. So, yerba mate. I'll have to look that up. But yeah. So I'm very curious to see what everybody thinks of my edited video whenever we get that done. But like I said, I still need to finish filming the last half of it, and then somebody I live with is going to show me how to edit and put it together. So you guys have that to look forward to. And then just let me know if you prefer my edited video or if you guys just prefer it raw like I've always done. If there are enough people who really like how the video is edited, then I might try to incorporate an edited video every once in a while. But like I said, as someone who lives with chronic illness, I just haven't ever really had the bandwidth to edit, because I know how much goes into it. For my other YouTube friends, and it's a lot. So we shall see how this goes. Maybe if I can minimize editing process and make it simple enough, maybe I will be the type to start editing videos. We shall see. Okay, everybody. Well, that's everything I wanted to talk about. I want to thank everyone who joined me during this live. I want to thank my friend Jen at Live, Laugh, Love with Jen. Go check out her channel. She is absolutely freaking amazing. And I'm so glad that she is able to moderate for me. She is awesome. You will love her. And because of all the health stuff and things we just talked about, it's kind of why I haven't been consistent on my YouTube channel this year. But I hope to get back into it. But I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.